I think we're ready to get started. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Reading Terminal Market. Welcome to Reading Terminal Market on this Wednesday afternoon. My name is Paul Steinke, and I'm the general manager of the market. And I think the only thing everyone's been able to talk about for the last couple of months is the weather and how terrible and cold it's been. Well, this is such an important week for Philadelphia. It's Flower Show Week. The Flower Show is our harbinger of springtime, and spring, we're told, is right around the corner. And the other harbinger of spring is fresh spring produce. And I think this demo here today is designed to celebrate just that. You see it all right in front of you here. So in order to do that, we're pleased to welcome Philly.com to the market today. And to take things further, I'm going to introduce the proprietor of this establishment, La Cucina at the market, Anna Florio. Anna?
Thanks, Paul. Hi, everybody. Welcome to La Cucina at the market. And as Paul said, welcome to what we believe is going to be spring very, very soon. So I want to thank Philly.com and the iVines who supply all the produce for what we do here. They're going to whip up some wonderful good eats. And just to tell you a little bit about what La Cucina at the market does, and that's cooking classes. So we have all types of cuisine and all types of kitchen skills, and we do a lot of events here, and we try to showcase what's best available to us from the market. And I could say without a doubt that 7 days a week we do use iVine's produce. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to
Michael Klein.
Michael Klein of Philly.com.
Oh,
Okay.
Go ahead, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm all mic'd up. Actually, there is a gentleman I'd like you to meet first, Mark Block from our parent company.
I didn't know.
Why don't you step in here?
Welcome, everyone. We'd like to introduce Jennifer Ginsburg from the Philadelphia Flower Show, who made this event possible and has a lot of great news to share about the upcoming activities for the remaining days of the Flower Show.
Thank you, Mark. So spring is in bloom in Philadelphia with the PHS Philadelphia Flower Show. We're on at the Pennsylvania Convention Center through March 9th, and the theme this year is Articulture, where art meets horticulture. So we have a lot of really exciting happenings the next several days at the Flower Show. First up, we have two very special celebrity appearances tomorrow. That's Thursday, March 6th. First, we have at our Garden to Table studio, it's QVC host David Venable doing a live cooking demonstration. And then in the evening, we have celebrity chef Sandra Lee doing a bottle signing of liquor. So both will be very exciting tomorrow. And then on Friday, March the 7th, we have Rachel Ray coming, doing a live Q&A on the show's main floor. And she will be at the show. That's 1:30 on March the 7th. We also have two really exciting premiere events. Tonight is Wedding Wednesday, and then on Thursday is Girls' Night Out at the Flower Show. So come celebrate spring with us, and thank you so much to Reading Terminal and Philly.com for hosting this event.
Okay, so now we're going to get the demonstration started. I have the honor of introducing our moderator of the demonstration, who is Michael Klein, who is the editor and producer of Philly.com Food. He created Philly.com Food in July of 2011, and we were fortunate to have the event here at Reading Terminal Market. Just right behind you over there is where we launched Philly.com Food. And everybody here pretty much knows that Mike is a regular fixture at Reading Terminal Market, and in addition to that, has a column on Thursdays called Table Talk, which is in the food and dining section of the Philadelphia Inquirer. So without further delay, I am pleased to introduce Michael Klein.
Thanks so much. Thanks. The iVines, how many, wait a minute, let me get you back here. How many iVines are there in this market?
Well, right now there's 8 iVines, 8 out of 10.
There's actually 9. Our other brother's sitting at the bar having a drink with Tommy Dinick.
Oh,
that's okay.
Nice. So wait, why isn't Tommy Dinick working? But that's another story.
That's another story.
All right, okay. But anyway, so
on any given day, you're going to get at least 8 iVines in the Reading Terminal Market. We're one of 10, and we've been in the Reading Terminal for about 24 years. 24 years now, and we're not leaving. So
and it's cool because this is the first generation doing this. This wasn't like, Pop's stand and you took it over.
No,
you guys did it all yourself.
Yeah, we got here 24, yeah.
Wow.
I started as a hot dog vendor, and Vinny was running an office. and we got the opportunity to come into the Reading terminal. And first day we walked in, we fell in love with it. And there was no sure success, but through a little bit of hard work and the love of produce, we're here now.
That really helps.
I got to admit, I didn't know anything about produce when I first got here. My first day here, a customer walks up and said, "Do you have cilantro?" And I said, "Let me find out what that is, and I'll get it for you."
Wow.
So here I am today.
What is cilantro? We're not going there.
Don't
Anyway.
go there.
I
Thanks,
also wanted to
Michael.
introduce you to Bobby Fisher,
Yes.
who is not a chess player, but he's a great chef.
What a great chef.
And he also works at Molly Malloy's, which is
Yes.
the Iovine
Nice.
family's little
Gastropub.
gastropub. Thank you.
Which
Good
is
word.
Molly Malloy was our mother,
It's our maiden
named
name.
after Molly Malloy, who was the leader of the pack.
Okay. That's great. So today we're going to make strawberry rhubarb pie salad, which basically is a riff on strawberry
Rhubarb pie. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So why don't you tell me? Why don't you walk us through it?
Well, the whole premise or the whole thought process behind doing strawberry rhubarb pie was that I love strawberry rhubarb pie. So what can we do to make this into a savory dish? So we said, let's take all those same ingredients and somehow twist it to create a savory item as opposed to something sweet. So what we did was...
And I'm sorry, but nothing says spring more than rhubarb and strawberries in the beginning. Customers are coming for rhubarb, strawberries. They know it's springtime. They really are looking for it. We have rhubarb here.
This is rhubarb, in case you don't know what it looks like.
It's from Washington
Rhubarb's
State.
awesome.
And you want, just rhubarb that's nice and clean. You can tell
You
right
always want
away.
it to be nice and crisp, too. Almost like the texture of like celery or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
If it's flimsy, don't buy it. Buy the nice hearty stalks.
And don't eat the leaves. They're not good for you.
No.
Oh, okay. I never realized that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not good
Maybe
for
that's
you at
why
all.
I'm the way I
They're
am.
poisonous. A little bit.
They're
So they're
poisonous.
poisonous.
Yeah.
Yes, a little dangerous.
Details. Okay.
Trim them sides off.
Okay.
So
So what's in it?
the salad dressing is actually made from rhubarb. So we cook down sliced rhubarb with a little bit of honey, white balsamic vinegar, just a little bit of salt, and extra virgin olive oil. So we just added all those ingredients to a pot, simmered it. As soon as the rhubarb was tender, we pureed it, and it was ready to eat. It's got a really beautiful flavor. It's got a beautiful color. It's actually in the back. I'm sorry, but it's a pale pink. It's really a really nice looking item.
It's going to be on the salad. You'll see it drizzled on the salad.
Yes, and then so that was our salad dressing. And then for our green, we chose to use arugula. It has a nice peppery quality. It's a great spring item. The vibrant green color definitely plays off of all the sweet items that are inside the salad. And then fresh sliced strawberries, obviously. For us, we just kind of cut them in half, or cut them in quarters, just trim the top, cut them in fours. It's a really, really, really simple salad to make, but it's not something you get everywhere all the time, so it's definitely got something different to show.
All right,
And the last part
Go ahead.
was our crumble. So this is what I would call the most interesting part. So what we did was we made a pie crumb. So just like you would make an apple crumb pie or something along those lines, just that sweet, crumbly flavor. What we did was we made it savory. By doing that, we added fresh thyme and fresh cracked black pepper, and then basically made just what your average item would be. So I have the ingredients here. Give you a little showing of how we kind of mix this together. So what we have is just all-purpose flour. We
Just
have
ordinary all-purpose flour.
yeah, we're just
Okay.
using just a regular all-purpose
Okay.
flour. Everybody's got it in their. Most of the. You know what's really good about this? Besides rhubarb, most people have most of these items in their house. We like to use fresh thyme. Obviously, you could use dry. I would suggest going to Iovines and buying fresh stuff. But hey, you can do whatever you got to do. So, we have a little bit of fresh chopped thyme here, some cracked black pepper, a little bit of brown sugar.
Nice.
It's not a lot. A sweet crumb topping. A lot more sugar, a lot of honey, all that kind of stuff. We went really light with this one. Some salt. And then what we do is we just kind of mix this all up. Oh, I'm sorry. And not necessary. If you have a nut allergy,
I was
Sorry, Jim.
catching.
if you have a nut allergy, you can definitely leave these out. But we like a little bit of walnuts in them. So we're going to add about a quarter cup of walnuts to all this. So we're just going to mix it all up. Just kind of get that together. And then just like you would if you were making a crumb for a pie, you would add in your butter. So here we have 2 sticks of
Oh
diced
my
butter.
goodness.
You know butter
Butter.
makes everything better. Butter's good,
I-
So, hey, some nice
I'm in.
fresh made butter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely low-fat butter.
Okay, good.
So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take that and just add it right into this mixture. You're gonna have to excuse my hands. So then just toss it up, and you have a crumble. So you bake it in the oven, 350 degrees, about 10 to 12 minutes. Get a nice crumble. Beautiful for anything.
Beautiful.
You could even
Beautiful.
substitute this on a chicken pot pie if you didn't want to
Yeah.
make the dough, or you could make a squash gratin and use this as a topping as well. Could add some Parmesan cheese into it, whatever you'd like, really. It's
Just put it on
really
a sheet?
versatile.
Just put it
Very
on a
cool.
sheet.
Yeah, so I just put it on a baking tray and then just right in the oven. I just kind of
And-
wanted to give you an idea of how I thought the pieces should look. Of course, it's my opinion matters, but I like it chunkier. It kind of gives more of that idea of having a crouton or something along those lines. It's just a nicer look to it. I'm almost done here, folks. I'm sorry.
So the
holding you up.
arugula is organic today, and it's out of California because it's still snow on the ground, so there's nothing really local right now. But the first things you're going to see are strawberries. You're going to see, actually, dandelion is one of the first items that'll pop out of the ground first.
Of course.
But, yeah, so California right now, rhubarb is from there. Is going to be the organic arugula. The berries are from Florida. We love Plant City. Beautiful strawberries. You got eggplant also from Florida. You're gonna have what you see on the table is radishes and also have turnips. Rutabagas and the kohlrabi are actually from out of Texas right now. So wherever it is freshest and the best, that's where we get it from. You know, when it's local, it's usually the freshest and the best when it's the season. So we're getting close, and I can't wait for spring.
So I'm not sure if everybody can see this or not. Sorry, Mike. So it's just a nice chunky crumb. You get them nice bits of walnuts in there, the thyme, the black pepper. When you taste it, it really reminds you of something you really know.
It's a pie crust.
Well, it's a pie crust. It has that texture, but it has that kind of down-home flavor that you'd expect in like a savory dish. So it's definitely an interesting play to have as a salad topping as opposed to the traditional items.
Right. At what point in the year does your crop go mostly local opposed to stuff you're bringing in?
So we're getting really close. Vinny, I see Vinny looked at me.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
I was
You
gonna
want to answer?
say, June, July, we start getting in there. It's where, most of the stuff comes between Shady Brook Farms. We use Jim DeLuca out of northern Pennsylvania. So it really, Jim, would you say June, July?
Yeah, so pretty soon, I think starting May, you'll see a lot of things coming out of Florida. And then all of a sudden it just comes up the coast. So
Yeah.
then every item that was from Florida is now in
Just keeps moving
Carolina. Then, you get it, it's in Maryland, then you're getting close. And everybody wants, local corn for the 4th of July, but
It's not.
it really
That's a
is
tough
not
one.
local. It may hit Maryland at the closest, but it's not until 2 weeks
July-
after
July,
that.
August,
10th.
yeah.
We usually get it.
Oh, is
That's
that when you
about-
get local?
Usually, yeah, it comes
Okay.
in around then.
Great. So, all right. So you've got the crumble. What do you do with your crumble?
There we go.
That crumble gets baked on a sheet pan in the oven, 350 degrees, about 10 to 12 minutes. Let it cool down a little bit, and then you're ready to go.
Okay. Why don't you go?
Put it together?
What do you got?
I actually, that salad's already prepared for you to taste. What I have here was
the
another
next
item we
one.
were going to try, which
All right.
was our spring slaw.
Oh, okay.
All
all right. Let's do that
Would
one.
you mind
Okay.
going through that real
I don't
quick?
mind.
Ray?
Yeah.
So our idea here was, hey, everybody loves coleslaw.
How about if Butch
We're gonna-
hands out some of the...
We're going to start handing out a few
And
samples.
Yeah, a
rhubarb
couple of
pie.
samples of the strawberry
yeah,
salad.
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Let's
we'll,
do that. So everybody, we got forks over here at the bucket of forks, Vinny, and then... well,
You see,
I'm
there is
sorry.
such a thing
Bucket
as a
of
free
forks.
lunch.
it is a little bucket of forks, see? I was
Should
right.
we, do you want to talk about this? Why?
Yeah.
All right,
we can.
cool.
We can. Sure. We can do the slaw next. Sure.
All right.
I didn't hear it.
So our spring slaw, we're trying to think out what we could do to something
No.
different than just your average cabbage, mayonnaise-based coleslaw. So we were taking a look at what we thought were our favorite ingredients of the spring, and we said, hey, let's get as much veggie in this as we can, and how versatile could this item be? So we chose for our base red Swiss chard.
Oh,
So that's what we
interesting.
have here.
Where's
So
that
it's just-
coming out of?
Right
Excuse me.
now it's out of Texas,
Okay.
but it's local. It'll be local,
Right.
in July.
Red Swiss chard is really easy to grow yourself, too. Small garden in your yard.
Yeah.
Easy item to grow. Doesn't need a
Okay.
lot of work at all. So what we did was we cut this really thinly, kind of resembles what your shredded cabbage might look like. And then from there, we kind of just like I said, we walked through the produce store and said, hey, what's our favorite ingredients of spring? And we grabbed a few of them.
Okay.
So here we have some beautiful navel oranges. Navel oranges are their best at the beginning of spring. So
yeah, it is the prime,
it's prime
main
navel
orange
season right now. So so we chose some navel oranges. We always like some masset in our dishes. So, and this is also a really neat item. So there'll be recipes for everybody, but there's no specific amount of ingredients necessary for it.
So
There
this is
are on the
basically-
recipe, but you can kind of mix and mingle however you'd
to
like
taste.
here.
To your
Well,
own
to taste, but yeah. So like I like these particular ingredients. You could use the same base, and maybe you could put sliced apple, or you could diced cantaloupe, or something along those lines, if that would be your preference. So here I'm going to mix in some of our navel oranges. We have some shaved fennel here. Fennel's a great ingredient.
Real
I love
peppery.
fennel.
Love
I'm a fennel fan. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. It's has that anise licorice flavor,
Yeah.
and it's so good. I actually prefer it raw than cooked too.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
love
just
fennel.
a nice bite to it. So we got crispy fennel here.
And fennel, if everybody doesn't know what it looks like, it's out of California right now, and we have fennel set up, don't we?
Yeah. it's over there.
So, and if you were to break one of these off and smell it, it's like licorice, like the
it's
candy
beautiful.
that you
Yeah.
remember.
Here.
Black licorice, exactly. I had to do that. Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
No, you're good.
Interactive demonstration. You want to smell some fennel? There you
Smell
go.
some fennel.
Stop and smell the fennel.
I could smell it all the way from here.
Stop and smell the fennel. Okay.
So the next ingredient we used was just sliced raw asparagus. Great item. Asparagus is plentiful come spring and summer. Nice crisp bite to it. Has that flavor that you're looking for. Some great radishes. We have some beautifully sliced red radishes. Add some color to your dish. Adds a pepperiness to your dish. Just got a great flavor. I love radishes too. Radishes are good on everything. And then the last item was sliced scallions, just to get a little bit of an onion flavor, but not have it be overpowering, like using a red onion or a Bermuda onion or anything along those lines.
And all these
So-
items, again, are from California. The scallion and the radish right now until local season starts. So, but we're rushing it as much as we can.
Yeah, but look at the color in this. This
So
is beautiful.
this is a beautiful color.
It's greens
it-
and the reds from the,
the green,
radishes.
the
It's
red.
beautiful.
It has the shaved fennel. It's different knife cuts and different looks. It's a beautiful dish. It would work as just a good side.
Yeah.
It would be right now in the restaurant. We're actually serving it as a grilled chicken sandwich. So we have a grilled chicken sandwich with this slaw on top of it and some goat cheese that we got from Valley Shepherd on a really good
Nice.
crusty ciabatta roll. It's a great sandwich. So then the last item we add in here is our salad dressing. So this is a pickled mustard seed vinaigrette. So what we
Nice.
do is we take our yellow mustard seeds and we pickle them. And then we turn that into a salad dressing with some celery seed, a little bit of honey, cider vinegar, and a little extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
It's really nice. This is a really good dressing to know too because it's versatile. It's good on a green salad. It's good in a slaw. It's good to marinate a piece of chicken in. So
How hard is it to pickle mustard seeds?
it takes absolutely no time at all.
That's
You put them in a pot with your proportions of vinegar, maybe a little touch of sugar, a little bit of salt. Bring them to a boil. Once they boil, put them in a container overnight. By tomorrow, you have
so
a
you don't
tender
even need
mustard seed.
you don't even need to can them or anything
Right.
like that.
You absolutely can can them. We
Right.
do a quick pickle.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Quickles. We make quickle.
When I
mustard
hear
seeds.
pickles, I think like it takes 2 months to
Yeah,
pickle
right.
something.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it could take really long, but if you cook them, it really is overnight. It could
That's
actually
great.
be in like 4 or 5 hours. I think overnight's better
Nice.
because you'll get a little bit more tender seeds.
Okay.
So I'm just going to toss some of this in here. Of course, I would put salt in here as well. The mustard dressing, I put salt on everything. The mustard seed dressing that we make has a bit of salt in it, but it's always good to just check. Sometimes a little bit of lemon or a touch of salt is all a dish needs to just really kind of awaken it and
Yep.
brighten it up. So then you just toss it
Wow,
up.
that looks nice.
It is a
beautiful,
beautiful
actually.
salad. Now, something that's important about this, though, is that all these vegetables can basically be cut the day before, but you don't want to toss this until you're ready to eat it. The vinaigrette will cause all these vegetables to kind of drop, and you won't have this nice, light, bright salad. It'll kind of get soggy. It's best if it's crispy and fresh. So that's it.
Toss to
That's
eat.
great.
That looks beautiful. That looks beautiful. Now, there is asparagus in that also?
There
Little
is. There's
bits of asparagus?
slice shaved. So we just shaved
Okay.
a little bit.
All right.
We'd like to cut it with a knife, but you could use a tool for that if you prefer.
Right.
And
You
that's
just cut
everything.
the chard up with a knife. You just
Yeah, we
put it
washed
on
the
the board.
leaves, and we kind of rolled it up, and it's called a julienne cut. Anna, do you have a knife I could borrow? I could show you right quick.
So
Okay.
stems and all? No, you didn't take the stem out of the
Well,
red Swiss chard? Is there some
no.
in that basket over
I don't
there?
take the stems out of the red Swiss chard because you don't have to take the stems out. It's texture. So the leaves have a bit of a bite to them, but the stems themselves will just give a little additional texture to it. I'm going to chop them off right now just to show you a little bit more easily. So what you can do is you take these leaves, and you line them up. And this knife technique is actually called a chiffonade.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me move that.
Oh,
Uh-oh. It's a sponsor.
okay.
So this knife cut is actually called a chiffonade. So I use it majority of the time for herbs. It's great for basil. It's a way to not bruise your herbs or do anything to them. And also you kind of get a nice uniform cut on everything. As Michael and Vinny and Jimmy know, everything's got to be cut the same when you do stuff. So I take my leaves and I just kind of line them all up like this. Multiple ways you can do this. I roll them up or fold them over.
Nice.
So now they're all folded over like this, and I'm just going to trim the edge just to show you better. And then all you do is you cut it just like that. Nice, thin pieces.
There went my finger.
Using a knife ain't hard, folks. Hold your fingers like this. It serves as a guide.
Okay.
You'll have all your fingers when you're done. If you put your fingers like this, you'll cut them all off.
Not a good plan.
Not a good idea, no.
No.
So then it's called chiffonade. So then this would be your final product here.
And you just
It's a
fan it
really
out.
nice way to do it. It's a really easy way to cut a vegetable, especially a green. And the reason, like I said before, I keep them stems in there because they are great for texture. They have a great bite to them. It's just a really nice.
And Butch is now
Additional thing.
handing out the salad to taste.
And that cut also lends itself to a fork really well. It's actually easier to pick up with a
You
fork.
can almost wind
It's
with your
almost like
fork.
spaghetti.
It would be like eating spaghetti. Exactly. You could almost wind
Twirl.
it up like you're
Twirl that
twirling it
bugger.
up like you're eating a nice plate of pasta.
without the carbs.
Without
Anyway,
the carbs.
I want to interrupt ourselves here. Jonathan Tevis of IGM is going to do a raffle.
Yes.
Come on up, Jonathan.
So the lovely Anna Florio will be assisting me with the raffle. First thing we're going to give away today is 2 tickets to the Philadelphia Flower Show, brought to you by our friends from the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. The first number is...
Anybody drum here?
Drum roll.
First number is 408028.
Okay.
One more time. 408028. Do we have a winner? The last 3 numbers are 028.
All right, so we should pick another one.
We'll pick
Let's do
another
that.
one. How about that?
Needs to be present to win.
That's
so.
right. I've got to be present to win.
Was that yours?
It was Vinny's. Okay, the winner is 015. The last 3 numbers are 015.
Come on.
All right,
015.
yay!
Yay!
We got a winner, yeah!
Here's 2 tickets
There
to the
you go.
Philadelphia Flower Show at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. So our next prize is for Molly Malloy's a $25 gift card.
Molly Malloy's. I'm
Molly
sorry.
Malloy's.
I do that every
Yeah.
time I hear it.
All right, get your tickets ready. 013.
We got a winner.
right,
We got a winner.
Great.
Okay, this one doesn't.
There's no.
No, there is. We're good.
Congratulations.
welcome.
Congratulations.
And our final raffle prize right now is one of these awesome aprons
Yes.
that sportphilly.com food, Iovine Brothers and Molly Malloy's.
Very sexy.
Very nice, yes. So the number for that one is...
The number for this is 031. Come on up, 031.
031.
All right.
031. Going once.
Come on, it's a nice apron. Come forward.
Gone. All right.
All right. Well.
That's it. Let's go. One more number.
I don't know why he only gave me.
Wow.
Oh, we're missing some tickets.
All right, well,
We're missing. We're missing.
we're going to let everyone go on and taste the next salad, and we'll have the last drawing once again for the apron after Bobby completes his second dish.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob Barker's beauty over here. I love it. I
Okay.
love it.
That was good. Okay.
So this is how we cut. This is how we did the chiffonade cut. Another thing I could show you really quick would be how we slice up our asparagus.
California asparagus again, I know, but there will be local asparagus soon enough. It'll be popping out in June, and it's always the best.
Love asparagus.
Bobby,
Asparagus
how far
on the
down do
grill
you
is
go
great.
when you're cutting? Like, why don't you?
I go all the way, but
Okay. I mean, you
all
use
the
the
way
whole.
Fisher over here.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna just trim right here at the where the rubber band is. I usually leave. You have to be really aware of your asparagus. Sometimes you get them really thick asparagus,
Yeah.
And white.
and that stem is so woody and just not
Yeah, it's
palatable
fibrous,
in
it's really
any
tough.
way. It's not a delicious taste. These are beautiful asparagus, and we actually don't have to trim much off at all. So we're probably just going to take about, what would you say that is, half an inch probably, roughly?
Something like that.
So we're just going to trim off a half
local
an inch off the bottom.
asparagus. I'm sorry, Bob. A lot of
No,
local
please.
asparagus will have a lot of that white at the bottom. So that's the portion that he's talking about. So that's the real woody part of asparagus. You can cut as far up as you want. I go a little bit further when I'm cooking it, but there's no need to waste it because it's all good.
I don't like to waste anything.
Good. Well.
So I just trimmed about a half an inch off the bottom of it. I leave the rubber band on. Asparagus often come in bunches that have a rubber band on it. It's easier to control them. They don't go flying all over the place. They stay in one spot.
Makes sense.
Makes life easiest. So after I do that, I'll pop that rubber band off. And then we just slice them thinly on the diagonal. So you just take your asparagus and you just take your knife and you turn it slightly 90-degree angle or
Yeah.
45, I
45,
guess.
yeah.
I'm not.
Math's
Math's
not
not
your
my
skill.
thing.
No.
So that's it, and then you just thinly slice them down. There are tools out there like a mandolin or something like that that you could use that would be able to really get through knocking this out really quickly. I like a knife, but that's just me.
I always wonder though. You do it on an angle. Is that for looks, or is there actually something in the?
Well, I think I love the way it looks, first of all.
Yeah, it's nice.
Also, French cut or
Yeah.
French cut green bean or something like that would be like when you see green beans that have been sliced on a diagonal like that. I like it for asparagus because it does break up some of the fibers, especially when you're eating it raw. That thin slice and sliced on the diagonal, it kind of cuts up the strings that run through them. So then that helps just make it more palatable.
That's great.
Yeah.
One
So-
more thing about asparagus, though. If you were to try to keep it really long, what you look for are the tips. Got to be really nice and tight. That's when you know it's really fresh. When they get a little old, you'll start seeing them fray up a little bit and wilt. So it's really easy. But they should keep for a week. I mean, some people will put them in water, almost like a plant in the bottom, and it keeps longer. They ship them on a damp cloth. And in a crate, in a cardboard, but with a damp cloth at the bottom, so they last.
It is a living item. So.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now we're going to talk about eggplant. So first of all, Jimmy, how do you buy them?
Okay.
What's the best way to look for them?
So, of course, with a lot of produce, I mean, it shows you right away. If you look at it and it pops to your eye and you're drawn to it, you know that it's going to be fresh. And look how shiny and the black and the green top. You want to make sure that top, because that'll show you everything, really. Eggplant may look good on the bottom, but that top will be really dark, and then you know it's old that way by the top more than anything. But also, you just want to make sure it's nice and firm. There's no blemishes really. You want to stay away. But there's always a spot that it's sat on the ground. So don't be afraid of knowing that there's a spot that if it's sat on the ground or next to a stem. But just nice and smooth. And
Do you know how eggplant got its name now?
no, I do not.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. How did eggplant get his name?
Eggplant actually, when they first found it, it was actually white eggplant. So to them, it looked like an egg. So it was an eggplant. So that's how it ended up getting its name.
So logical.
So
Can you
eggplant.
believe that?
I gotta
Easy.
look that up.
Hey, he's your brother. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So what are you going to do with this?
All right. So I love eggplant, and the reason why we chose to make eggplant today was so that we could show a little versatility. So the first two items that you tried are both raw. Everything's except for the crumble, obviously, but all raw vegetables, all raw fruit. And with the theory of it being Wedding Wednesday and people needing, maybe being out looking for items that they might want to serve at their wedding, and in our day and age, vegetarian, gluten-free, it's so important to be aware of those things when you're planning an event, especially. So we chose eggplant here. Eggplant's meaty. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. I'm sure you can tell, but I can eat eggplant for dinner and not have chicken or not have beef or not have some sort of pork on side, and I absolutely love it. We grew up kids, tons of eggplant, grilled, fried, whatever. So I chose this, and I can give you a demonstration on how I like to treat eggplant when I have it. So I always like to trim the top, and again, I cut as close to the green top as possible, and then as little off the bottom as I possibly can. People like to do it different ways. You can peel it, you can not peel it. I find that if it's peeled, it's better. The skin has a little bit of a rough texture sometimes, and also will add to bitterness that can be found in eggplant already. So I always like to peel it. A lot of people probably use a vegetable peeler. I just use my knife. I'm easy. I like no cleanup. I don't want to clean up a million different things. So I just will take my knife, and I'll start right where I trimmed, and I'll just slowly go around the sides, minding my fingers, of course. Peel it all the way.
I always found using a peeler is also a little bit tough because...
Well, the peeler bruises the eggplant as well. So if you have a vegetable peeler that maybe you use for potatoes or things like that, that work all right. But when you get to an eggplant, suddenly by the time you're done peeling this eggplant with a vegetable peeler, it's going to be tan, brown even.
Yeah.
Brown eggplant. You gave that an early death.
And but that cut works great for cantaloupe, watermelon, honeydew.
Pineapples.
I mean, pineapple. That same cut works great for all those items.
Yeah.
So once I peel my eggplant, people, again, have different techniques for this. I salt my eggplant. So what I'll do is I'll cut it to the size that I'm looking for. I usually I'm about a little bit more than a quarter of an inch here. And then once I cut it, I lay it flat, just like this. And I'll put a paper towel under it, sprinkle a little bit of salt on top of it. I like to use kosher salt. Pulls out all the water. Let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes max. Blot it dry. And then that eggplant loses a lot of the bitterness that would have came with it initially. And also, it'll absorb the flavors that you're cooking it with. So if you're adding extra virgin olive oil or if you're serving some sort of sauce with it, it'll kind of take on those flavors as well as lose that bitter flavor. And then that's it. So then you can kind of choose how you want to cook it after this. I'm a big proponent of grilled eggplant. I'm a big proponent of all things grilled. So the dish that we prepared today, we actually pan-seared the eggplant. So a very, very, very hot pan, a little extra virgin olive oil, and we just put this eggplant that was salted and dried into that olive oil and seared it as hard as we could on each side, making sure that it's tender. And then that was it, ready to go.
So if you were to, I know you like grilled, and we all like grilled, but
sure.
We also like
fried
eggplant.
Yes.
Come on, what do you do?
I actually make a mean fried eggplant.
I walked into
I thought we were talking vegetable. I thought we were going healthy here today. But
come on.
All right. When I make fried eggplant, I cut them thicker.
Oh, you cut them thicker. Okay.
I do, and then I salt them same exact way.
So you put them on a paper towel. You salt them.
Little salt. Let all that moisture come out. Let me grab a little salt from out of here so I can
give
you
a paper towel.
Okay.
There you go.
Quick show of just in a moment or two, you'll see all the water coming out.
Yeah, but the kosher salt's the bigger crystals,
bigger granule.
Yeah.
And it's not as salty. That doesn't come across. You need less of it to create your dish. So a tiny little sprinkle will really just kind of help it out. But when we fry this eggplant, we salt it, let it hang out for a minute, blot it dry. Then I like to make my own breadcrumbs. Yesterday's bread, like a food processor or like something like that to shred the bread. Sure.
Oh, this is a request for what kind of breadcrumbs?
What breadcrumbs would I suggest buying?
If you weren't making your own.
I love panko breadcrumbs because they do have more of a texture, but I think for me, if I'm in that position and I can't create them myself, that I would buy a plain unseasoned breadcrumb.
Really?
Like I'm not even sure of what the brand is. Just a completely plain unseasoned breadcrumb, because then I like to kind of add my own twist to it. To my breadcrumbs that I create myself, I always add Parmesan cheese. I add cracked black pepper, a bit of garlic powder, and a ton of fresh herbs. I always parsley, fresh basil, thyme, and sage. I use in all my breadcrumbs. It's just my standard, what I really love. Just adds some beautiful taste and some beautiful things to all things. So it's good for chicken, it's good for this.
Okay.
So then, flour, we dredge it in flour, then dip it in egg. Egg, we just crack a few eggs with a touch of milk just to get them a little bit thin. Then right in the breadcrumbs. I like to let my eggplant sit for like an hour after that, because then you know that some of that flavor from them delicious breadcrumbs that you just prepared is going to start to seep into that. You know that breading is going to stick really
won't fall
beautifully.
off.
It's not going to fall off when it goes into the pan. And then, of course, you got to get your fat hot while you're doing it.
Right.
I go really low on my heat when I fry eggplant, like medium low, roughly. And I use both extra virgin olive oil as well as canola oil, because I just like to be able to get that flavor. But you'll find if you're trying to saute something in a really hot pan and you use extra virgin olive oil, it'll burn immediately.
Yeah.
It's because there's particles of the olive inside that
Right.
extra virgin olive oil, and so it'll just
Burn
kind
out.
of ruin your dish. So
And the melting point's different. They're different.
yeah,
they
there's
work at
different
temperatures.
heating points, exactly. Have I ever used grapeseed oil? You can absolutely use that for this to fry eggplant. You're absolutely more than welcome to use whatever kind you like. You just have to be very aware of your temperatures. I like to try to save grapeseed oil for salad dressings. I think it does well on a salad dressing. But normally for me, I like to stick to the canola extra virgin. We're Irish, but we might as well have been Italian because.
Iovine, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, me,
I know.
I'm German Irish, so
Okay.
we
Half hour.
But in my house when we grew up, my father, who can't cook anything, who doesn't know what salt is, and makes depression era mashed potatoes with water. He doesn't add butter or milk to anything. So,
Wow.
shocking that I know how to cook anything these days. But that man knows how to cook a pot of gravy, and he knows how to make some meatballs, and he definitely knows how to fry eggplant.
That's great.
Very few things, but that's it. That's his wheelhouse right there.
So I have a question for you. Does it matter the grade of olive oil that you use when you cook? Because I was always told that use the extra virgin for raw dishes or salad dressings and things.
It's a good question.
Guess for the
you get
sake
better
of being
results?
crazy about it, no, you don't necessarily get better results. It's like how deep is your pocket kind of thing. I mean, for sake of saying something crazy, you can absolutely use extra virgin olive oil to cook something that's a hot dish. For me, it wouldn't be worth it. I wouldn't be able to afford to buy that much olive oil to fry a piece of chicken in, or a lot heavy doses of eggplant. I do think it's better to use it at the end. Anna, you
I was gonna ask
got a
Anna.
lot going on with extra
Yeah,
virgin.
I was going to say.
And I love extra virgin olive oil, and the grade does matter.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So this is one of the things that I am a little bit passionate about, and that's olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil, we almost never cook with it straight up because of its melting point or its smoking point. It burns really quickly, and it'll impart smoky flavor to whatever you're cooking. Not good. Other than the price point, which is a really, important consideration, do you want to waste a lot of money to cook with it? Extra virgin olive oil, if you can think about it the way you would think of making wine with grapes, depending on where the olives were grown that makes that oil, it's going to have different levels of flavor. So if it's grown by the sea, it's going to have a salty flavor. There's a lot of flavor there that isn't necessarily a good combination with cooking. Something like eggplant takes on the flavor of whatever you cook it in. It's just like a sponge. So you want to go with a very neutral flavor, and in that case, it would be a lower costing olive oil or extra virgin olive oil that's almost a bit diluted in its flavor. That's what you're looking for, because you want to impart flavors with the things that are going to accompany it, the spices, the herbs, rather than you don't want to fry it in something that's going to come across with a peppery flavor if that wasn't the flavor profile you were looking for at the end. Long answer, or the short answer is extra virgin olive oil best saved for raw, especially because it can be overly flavorful. If you're going to cook with it maybe you should go half and half. Some extra virgin olive oil and then just some plain olive oil or canola oil, which is a great neutral oil.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure,
Since
Bobby.
you have the mic, my curiosity is, in the Italian test kitchen here, I want to know what region is your favorite olive oil company?
Well, we're a little partial to the South, so we use a lot of generic olive oil. All I'm saying, when you buy olive oil, this is anybody who works in this kitchen with me knows I say the same thing over and over. Buy olive oil. Look for where the olives come from. At the very least, they should all be from one country. Okay.
It's funny you should say that. There's a big scandal about where they come.
No, it's true, and a lot of times you'll see great prices, and there's reasons that great prices are.
Yeah.
You don't want to mix. It's bad enough when you mix regions because, as I mentioned, they take on the flavor of the soil they grow in. So you don't want to start mixing by the sea, by the mountain.
I didn't know that.
In the middle of the plain. My favorite region is Puglia and Sicily.
Okay.
But if I'm going to tell you that we only use those extra virgin olive oils from those regions for salads and dipping.
Sure.
Cooking,
Very nice.
I'm good with Bertolli.
Whoa.
The winner for this one is going to be 408036. Come on up.
036.
Enjoy. All right, next up we have a $25 gift card to Molly Malloy's.
Oh boy, another gift card.
Oh, they are very generous, yes. 408022.
022.
022.
Going once.
All right.
All right, we're going to try again.
408039.
039.
408039.
Okay.
Another ticket.
Wait.
Come on up.
Yay! All right.
Yes.
039. Here you go.
039. Way to
Great.
go. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have another 2 tickets to the Philadelphia Flower Show at the Convention Center.
Nice.
It's going to be 408005.
005.
005.
Going once.
No?
Going twice.
How about 408017? Congratulations. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
See you later.
Now more taste of the Philadelphia Flower Show.
There you go.
Great.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, are we going to give out some? You have the eggplant?
Yeah, the eggplant's
Okay.
all prepared.
Okay.
Could we give
We
out
can
the
pass that
eggplant
out.
punch? Did we give out the eggplant salad? Oh, we already.
You already gave it.
Some taste of
What you did
everything.
talk?
Oh wow. Okay. Great. All right.
Yep.
Well, can we sing and dance? No, we can't
Yeah,
do that either.
What's the other?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Over at Ivan Brothers Produce, we actually have a section already set up where all the ingredients for everything you're looking for today is all in one spot. You can pick it up right there. Also at Molly Malloy's, I think we have the strawberry rhubarb salad as one of our specials today as well.
The strawberry rhubarb salad's a special over there. As
Again,
well as
thank
the,
you.
grilled
Welcome.
chicken
Thank you,
salad.
guys. very
Thanks
Please
so
check
much for
out
coming.
Irvine Brothers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Michael, very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Good job.